me up? Is that it? Are you here to kill me? Are you going to kill me? Did she say you're here to kill me? Are you going to kill me?
Shut the hell up and listen! Yes!
Yo.
Whoa. Papa Pope.
Wow.
Wow, man. That was a clip from last week.
Yeah. Super intense.
Scandal, who at one point we didn't know what. When this show first came out, it was so extreme and outlandish that we were like, yo, this is such a great fictional interpretation of what it must be like in D.C.
Guess what? And now it is.
It's D.C.
We have a hard time keeping up. I know. It's really bizarre to be on a political show in all the different climates that we have gotten to be on this show.
Wow, she's here. She's back. You know, every season we invite her up because we want that inside scoop. You know her as Quinn Perkins on Scandal. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Lowe's is here.
Oh, thank you, guys.
She's back.
Hi, guys.
Now, isn't that like y'all can't keep? It's hard to keep up. Like
it is.
It's almost wilder. I get a more wild run when I watch pop political news today than when I watch Scandal.
I agree with you. It's really weird. We used to have a show, where everything was sort of calm in the political landscape for a while, and so our show was really like crossing a lot of lines and pushing boundaries, and now it just sort of seems crazily normal.
It seems normal.
That's wild.
It's wild.
How
I know.
Does Scandal become normal? And it's the final season.
It's the final season. Well, I think we definitely leave it all on the dance floor. I'm not that far ahead of you guys. Like I don't know how it ends. Shonda hasn't told us anything. I have no clue. I don't know who's alive. I don't know who's dead. I know nothing, but I'm sure.
We know you're pregnant.
Ah!
That's the one thing we
Quinn,
do know.
We know that I myself was pregnant in real life, and I had a baby 4 months ago. His name's Albie.
Congratulations, Katie. Congratulations.
This is my first trip leaving him home, and I just was like on set in a scene, and I saw Carrie, and I was very emotional about leaving him, and Carrie just like held my hands because she's the best.
Yes.
And she was like, you don't want to be one of those moms that doesn't leave him until he's like 18 and he's all like messed up. You got to go. You got to live your life. He's got to see that his mom's working.
True.
It won't register this young either necessarily, right?
Yeah,
Not as
it doesn't
much.
get like weird until they're like toddlers and they're like screaming, crying because they don't want you to go, right? Okay, great. So it's fine.
Do you breastfeed?
Yes.
Oh, it might get weird for them then.
Well, I mean, it's like I'm just a pump-a-thon nation on this trip. Like I'm just everywhere I go, I'm surprised I'm not pumping here in front of all you guys. All I do is pump it up.
No, you can't do that in front of us no more. That's not.
I know it's not a thing.
No, you
It's
can't
a
do
whole.
that.
I know.
Well, we had Bellamy Young, who
Yes.
I don't know if you know, it was a secret crush thing going on with me and Bellamy for years.
Who doesn't have a secret crush on Bellamy Young?
Yeah, good point. I thought you was going to say me, but thank you, Katie.
Get live.
But we talked about when Carrie was pregnant, and how did you guys adjust to her being pregnant on the set? And this is what she said. How much of this season did Kerry Washington shoot pregnant?
We did 5 episodes from July to September, and then she had her baby like October-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all did a pretty interesting job at covering up her pregnancy, right?
I know, people's legs and the flower arrangements got bigger, the purses got bigger, the files got more important. Yeah. We still set up some shots, and she's like, no, that'll look like I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all didn't do that with you.
Nope. No, there wasn't a Prada bag big enough to hide my belly. No, Shonda was like the second person I told I was pregnant. It was my husband, and then it was Shonda Rhimes, and I was like 5 minutes pregnant. I just told her I was, and she was so lovely and so supportive and so happy. And then I didn't know if she was going to write Quinn pregnant or not, but I was at a table read, and Quinn just tells Abby she's pregnant, and that's how I found out that she was going to make my character pregnant. And it was really great because I never had to worry about how much my body and face was going to change. Because,
that works out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, bring on the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Good to go.
Yeah, right?
Good to go.
I heard they had to make adjustments, though, for you to do, like, stunts and things like that.
Yes. So at the end, I had so many, like, physical, crazy scenes to do, and I had a stunt coordinator and a stunt double, and an OB was on set every time I worked, just to make sure I was doing everything really safe for me and the baby, which is another amazing reason why it's great to work at Shondaland while you're pregnant, because she just really covered me and made sure that I was safe and my baby was safe. I mean, even my trailer, they built an entire deck because they didn't want me going up and down the little trailer steps while pregnant. And I was like, this is the greatest place ever. I took a photo and I sent it to Shonda and I was like, they built me this amazing deck off my trailer so I don't have to go up and down stairs. And she just replied, matriarchy, with a ton of exclamation points.
There it is.
Yeah, so they really took care of me and they covered all my stunts. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. And Joe Morton, who I've had a lot of really intense scenes with while I was very pregnant, 9.5 months pregnant at the end. I shot until I think 2 weeks before I had him.
Wow.
And Joe Morton is a father and in real life, and he just was so, just a great scene partner and a great caretaker. And yeah.
What is it like? You guys in last week's episode, some really powerful scenes between Joe and you.
Yes.
Him as an actor, I followed him for decades.
He is unbelievable.
Does it get intimidating? Because
I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh gosh, I have to go toe to toe with the Joe Morton. Like, I've looked up to him for years, and since I was a kid, he's so talented, and Broadway, and he's a musician, and he's so cool, and he's so talented. I try not to think about it because I'm like, if I really start getting in my head about how talented he is, I'm like, oh gosh, there's no way I could stand up to it. But when you're in the scenes, I try to remind myself, okay, I'm B613 too, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, like, I've killed people too.
Yeah,
and the character has not.
You got real happy about that part
you
too.
Know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I'm like, I have to stand up, know. But he's so great to work with. Everybody is. I think that's the saddest part about Scandal ending is just we really, really do love each other. We love working together professionally, and we're also super tight personally.
Yeah.
So
it feels like a family.
And, we're so tight.
Yeah, and then Olivia Pope is going insane on this season.
She's
the bad guy.
Oh my God.
Is she the bad guy?
She's the bad guy. She is the bad guy. And I got news for you. Like, I don't know if she's going to come back to wearing the white hat and being on the right side of justice. I don't know.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
So, Katie, that's why we invited you here today.
I'm sorry,
Damn,
guys.
you can't tell us nothing.
I'm so sorry. I wish that Shonda, I don't know, like, if...
Okay, thank you, Katie Lowe, for coming by. All right,
guys, have a great day.
Yikes.
I just don't think... I don't know if Shonda is going to create the ending of this story however she sees fit, and I don't know if she believes or thinks happy endings or what is best for these characters. I don't know.
There you go. You got it from Katie Lowe's, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
Any Scandal fans, call us. Katie Lowe's is here. Quinn Perkins. Scandal is always Thursday nights on ABC, 9 p.m.
Yep.
The last week's episode was crazy. Mike Muse got to he didn't finish the last 10 minutes, so we haven't told him what happens in the last.
You want me to
10
tell you right now?
No.
And that's cool is the episode that airs this week was directed by Kerry Washington.
Okay.
And it was the first episode she's ever directed, and it was my first episode back from my small maternity leave. And she was so good to me. And of course she was great at directing because nothing Kerry does. Everything she does is perfect.
That's Kerry Washington, yo.
It is.
That's Kerry.
It just is. She
Yeah.
can't. She
doesn't miss.
No, she doesn't. She did a great job, and I can only tease that I did a scene in that episode, which you will soon see, that was the most fun I've ever had in 7 years of Scandal. You'll know what it is when you see it.
Okay.
Super, super fun.
I like that. Do you have pictures of the baby? Pull them out. And then we're going to come back and open up the phone lines.
Okay.
888-742-3345. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. Okay. We got Katie Lowe's here. You know her as Quinn Perkins on Scandal. Now, her character is pregnant. In real life, she was pregnant. We're about to get the inside. Anything you want to know about Scandal, this is it. It's the final season. What are they going to do? Fire you? It's only a few episodes
No,
left.
but we could all die. Like, what if they just blow up a building we're all in or something?
That's something what happened on
but
Scandal.
then we couldn't all do a Scandal movie. You know what I mean?
Is there a Scandal movie in discussion?
And I'm just putting it out there. Wouldn't that be great?
She was saying hypothetically.
I'm just saying, wouldn't it be great? I'm just trying to hold on to anything here, guys.
I think you heard something, though, Katie.
Right.
I wish.
A seed has been planted.
I'm just putting it in my heart, okay, so we might wrap in March, and it's so sad. But you know what? We could get a call in a couple years to do a Scandal movie.
They did it with Sex in the City.
Yeah, they did.
Twice.
And we're exactly like Sex in the City.
They did it with Entourage, same thing.
That's what I mean.
You know.
We're a laugh out, a big comedy, just like those two. No. But maybe, I don't know. It's going to be such a weird transition. I'm so used to waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and seeing Guillermo Diaz and Kerry Washington and Bellamy and just seeing Tony and just seeing him in the trailer at 5 a.m. and everyone's exhausted and laughing and talking about their weekends and we hang. It's just going to be a very, very weird thing.
You're going to be all right. You got the baby.
Yeah.
You'll forget all of them.
I have a baby.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll get more jobs.
That's all good. But this job in particular, it was really special. And we all like kind of grew up on it. Like I got married on the show. I had my baby on the show.
Damn.
A lot of us did. Carrie had 2 babies on the show.
She got married.
Yeah, people got married. Carrie got married. So it was just a very, people bought a house if that was something that meant a lot to it's just been like a big growing up process.
Shout out to Shonda, man, because I mean, damn, all this happened because you got on the show.
It did. Shonda, basically, I email her daily, just saying she's the angel of my life. She's just yes. I mean, like all of these things.
Could you retire after this if you
No.
wanted to? You still got to work.
Yeah.
Okay, you still got to work. Okay.
I hear about this age of television, I think in like the 90s where people were just like, they could like get a hit show and completely retire and be fine and have like the most money ever. Yeah, that's not really...
That's not realistic right now?
No. I mean, of course I was smart and I was a waitress and a babysitter and a caterer before Scandal. So like when I got Scandal, I was like, save this money so that I don't have to waitress again right away. No, I'm kidding. I don't have to waitress again. Hopefully ever. But I gotta work. I want to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 35 and I love acting and I want to play other parts. And I know that, it's just, I would love to come back to New York, to be honest, and do some theater. Would be a real dream of mine. I'm from New York, born and raised, and I would just love to do a play and be able to have my whole family come in and see me do that.
That'd be dope. We'll babysit.
Yeah.
Let the kid come up here to sway in the morning.
What's great about theater is the show goes up at 8. You leave at 7. You just need a babysitter at night and your kid's asleep.
Man, leave your kid with me in Harlem. Your kid'll be cool.
Done,
Trust me. All right, I got you. Okay,
done.
Adrian's on the line from South Carolina. Say hello to Katie Lowes. Go ahead, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
So I'm excited about the Scandal crossover, and what I'm wondering is, could this be the beginning of something new now that Scandal is ending? Because Scandal can't end because it just can't end, but it has to. But I'm wondering, could this be the beginning of something new?
Well, that's a great idea.
That's a good idea.
Do you want to contact my boss and tell her that you think that the crossover would be the start of how Scandal can keep going? Sadly, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I wish. I really wish, but I don't think so.
Adrian, thank you for your call. So
Thanks, Adrian.
I mean, you have to watch even harder now on Thursday nights on ABC at 9
there's only
p.m.
a few
Adrian.
left.
It's only, how many left now? How many more table reads you got?
I have 3 or 4 table reads left, but I think airing there must be 9 more episodes that you guys haven't seen. Around that, something like that.
All right. Danny from Arizona. Go ahead, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Hi, how you doing? You're my favorite character on the show.
Thank you.
And I just want to know, why is the reason why they ending it?
I know. Well, Shonda told us at the end of last season, and Shonda is the protector of story and the protector of our characters, and she's just very much felt in her heart that this was where the story should end. She wanted to end on a high note, and she wanted to end when we still had awesome fans like you, and that, it wasn't going to just keep going and keep going and keep going until it was, people were kind of over it. She wanted to really decide that we're going to go out on top.
Okay, that's smart. Hey, Danny, thanks for your call. You're
Thanks,
a citizen.
Danny.
You know what I'm curious about when we were speaking, how Shondaland was treated you so well when you were pregnant. Yeah. Is that not standard?
It is not standard.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I have a lot of girlfriends on other television shows and actors, and and I think in all industries, not just acting, I think pregnancy is very hard to navigate, sadly. How you get maternity leave, how you are taken care of during your pregnancy, and it sucks because that should not be.
Agree.
And in Shondaland, my boss, Shonda has 3 kids, and she was unfreaking believable. I mean, literally couldn't. My biggest mistake is I should have had like 5 kids on the show. To be honest,
You shoulda did it then, huh?
I should have got it done because she is incredible and she sees. I mean, you can even see it in the character. Like I told her I was pregnant, and what did she do? She wrote Quinn to take over OPA to be QPA. It's like so now on television we're seeing a super pregnant woman who's also running a business and planning a wedding and. Getting kidnapped and fighting for her life because she's a badass. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's thinking about it that it's not a disability and all of a sudden I can't do something and I'm not worth anything. It's like, no, I'm going to do all of this and I'm going to be a mom. And I can do it all. So it was a wonderful place to work. And I'm going to take that every job I ever get and demand and expect the same.
Let's go.
That's Katie Lowes, ladies and gentlemen. Scandal. DB?
Yeah, I have a non-scandal related question because you've done a lot of animated voice work.
I have.
In films. And,
can't you tell by how great my voice is on this microphone?
Yeah, we could do a voice battle. No, but I was wondering is because we had who was the comedian that we had up here?
Sarah Silverman?
The one that was talking about he did Frozen and Continental Drift.
Oh,
wait.
That
Who was in
recently.
Frozen? Who was in Frozen?
It was
Kish.
Josh Gad
No.
was in Frozen. No.
Oh God. This is...
Well, okay. Do you want to get stuck? What's your question, though, man?
Anyway,
we'll come back to that, brother.
He
we can Google it. You know.
I wish
He was talking about how he had done voice work and was working on the film, and then all of a sudden they stopped calling and he got cut from the film at the end. So I'm like, how do you get those roles? Because
I'm going to tell you how you get those roles. You babysit for the head of casting of Disney Animation, which is what I did as my job for years before Scandal. So before Scandal, I was a nanny, and one of my bosses, who's like family to me now, is this woman named Jamie Roberts, who casts all the Disney movies. So years ago, as a day job, not only would I babysit, but she would call me into Disney, and I would do improv games with my husband for all the animators at Disney because they draw the same character for 5 years when they're working on a movie and they get bored. So I would come in and act out crazy scenarios with my husband and they would draw me as fast as I can just to like exercise their creativity.
Wow.
So I became friends with all the animators. And so when they would be working on a movie, they'd be like, you know what? Let's just throw this line to Katie Lowes. She's awesome. We love her. Thank you guys. And so they started giving me lines and lines and lines and lines. And now they give me parts and parts and parts and parts.
Come on.
Wow.
So that's how you get an animated job in showbiz.
Man. He want to get into, and it was Dion Cole.
Yeah, that's right.
Dion
That's
Cole
right.
from Blackish. He was the one who did the
Oh my
voiceover.
God, he got cut out?
Yeah.
Yeah. They just stopped calling him. They didn't even.
See, he didn't babysit. He did not babysit.
Wow, Mike Muse. Mike Muse covers our political coverage. You know, here every day here on Sway in the morning and
Oof,
and
that's
Scandal.
not an easy gig.
Remember we first started watching Scandal and it was like, no, this is unbelievable. This couldn't happen in Washington, and now we're like, Scandal need to step it up a little bit. You're watching it way ahead. What is your question for?
Well, in that same vein, I'm curious to know what is the role of political shows now on television? Because you look at a show like Scandal, which shows the White House and life in D.C. We look at Homeland, which shows the CIA and assets, right? And you look at Madam Secretary, which shows the State Department. What is the role now of these political shows, do you believe?
I think guys, I don't know. I think they're kind of in big trouble. I read this amazing article. I think it was in the New York Times. That was a bunch of the different showrunners who write political shows. Shonda being one of them, the creator of Veep. It wasn't West Wing, but Shonda was talking about how a lot of successful political shows like West Wing, like Scandal, things like that, are very successful when the actual political landscape is really calm. Like West Wing was really popular when things were like okay because people could really turn on the TV and take it, you know, because they weren't also turning on the news and seeing that. And I don't know if that's affected Shonda wanting to end the show. I'm not sure. But I know for myself, like it would be hard for me to turn, you know, it's hard to turn on the news and see that kind of what's going on in our country and then also turn on a show. So I think it's hard to be on a political show during this political landscape. Really I think it's hard. I think people are really looking to turn on the TV and maybe escape a little bit, turn on a comedy, turn on, I don't know, a reality show, something where they can't also ask themselves the hard questions that they turn on the news and open the paper and do.
Open
the paper. Most people are opening the paper on their computer,
yeah.
on their phones. It's like I'm so old-fashioned.
We actually have a paper here.
But I think it's really hard.
Yeah.
I just do.
It's Shonda's fault.
But Shonda is amazing because she also does episodes that are about social, like not only ripping, political ideas from the headlines, but also, making episodes, the case be about stuff that's going on, like whether it's like rape in the military or abortion. A cop killing a black kid or whatever it is. But she's literally dealt with all those. And so in the same vein, I feel so lucky to be a part of a show that is entertaining, but also comments on major social issues in this country. And so
she basically, with Scandal, that was like foresight. So she kind of painted our political landscape with Scandal. So maybe she can take that same pen.
Well, that's why do you
know what I mean?
Why do you think Melly Grant is president on our show?
Wrote a different ending, right? So
ding,
Shonda to keep writing and just write different endings, and then life will catch up to it.
Yeah, I think you're really onto something
You think
there.
so, Katie?
I think so.
Tell her I said that. I want no credit.
I'm going to tell her.
Okay.
As soon as I see her.
Okay.
I'm going to tell her that.
Always great to see you. And even
Thank
beyond Scandal.
you for your questions. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. And thank you, caller in people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
really
you are welcome on this show, even beyond Scandal. We like you.
That because
okay?
you're going to need to babysit.
I got you. Bring that kid to Harlem, man. He gonna come back with so much swag, and I quiz like my daughter when she was not that age. He's only 4 months, but when she got to be like 3, 4, 5, 6, I would take her cousins. I would take her cousin to the museum, or I'd take them to a zoo. I can't stand zoos, but I would take them to the zoo.
So you'll do that for my kid?
I would take them, but I quizzed them. So after the end of the zoo, I would say, how many muscles are in an elephant's trunk? Because that's something we would discuss. What's the difference between a monkey and an ape? Things that we would discuss, and then they would remember it,
and actually will have learned a bunch of stuff.
My daughter knows how many muscles. You wouldn't believe how many muscles are in an elephant's trunk, too. She knows all that stuff. It's more than you know.
Well, you've
matter
got
of fact,
job.
Google it. Katie, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank
Look powerful
guys.
going with Jodo.
Thank you.
Ooh, you're not gonna kill me, are you? You're not gonna kill me. Oh, you killed it. All right, Katie Lowe's, ladies and gentlemen.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, KTQ Lowe's.
There it is. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.